Welcome to the Fantasy Thinker. I'm Jared Quartermatch, and today I'm going to be doing a tag. I was tagged by Johanna from her channel. Uh, Thank you very much. That was fun. It was fun to see, fun to listen to, and thank you for mentioning me. And this is an unpopular opinion tag, and so I'm going to try my best to answer these questions. At first I was very excited to get tagged, and then I looked at the questions like, wow, those are really hard. It's gonna take some thinking. Um, so let me get into these. One, a genre great you don't get the hype for. And I wasn't at first 100% sure whether I was supposed to pick a genre or if I was supposed to pick a great within a genre, but I think it's the genre thing. And so I'm gonna say classic literature. And this is unpopular opinion now. I've read a lot of classic literature. I've read the Moby Dicks. I've read a lot of stuff from the 19th century, and a couple other things too. And the reason I'm picking that is because I just think that there's a lot of stuff written today in the modern era that says just as much about the human condition, about what it that gives us just as much information as the classics do. Now, granted, I get it. The classics are first. They did things first. And that's why they're classics. But I think that as a human species, we are supposed to progress. And I think we have, as far as literature goes and writing and all that stuff. And so I don't think that the classic literature should be forced down people's throats in college courses and what have you. I mean, it's good to give them their due when it's deserved, but there's a lot of great stuff out there that's coming out, within our modern period now in my lifetime. And that stuff deserves to be studied as well. And so, these are unpopular opinions, so my opinion might be very unpopular on that point, but that's what it is. So, anyways, number 2. An adaptation I wish was never made. I'm not sure if this is unpopular or not, but it's my opinion. The Shannara Chronicles. Yuck. Yeah. I didn't get how or why they chose to make this one the way they did. It was made on the Warner Brothers TV station, the CW, and so it was on that station. That station has like a bunch of superhero shows like the Flash and Green Arrow and stuff, and the poses, the pretty people with problems type of atmosphere that station has was all transposed into Terry Brooks's fantasy setting. And it's not like that those books are my favorite of all time or anything like that. They're okay, but I just the adaptation just did not picture it that way. Anyways, that's it. Number 3, a book or series I have to fight back my inner snob because I kind of think people just don't get it. Yeah, I've been accused of that in the past. Yeah. That's a tough one, because if people get what they get, and what I get out of something may not be the same as what somebody else gets out of something. So, is it they don't get it, or I don't know. It's hard for me to answer that one. Maybe some history books that I've read, and when I hear people talk about history, and I say, well, actually, if you read this book, then you would know a little bit more about this situation. So maybe like a Distant Mirror by Barbara Tuchman, which really explains the 14th century in detail. That that could be on that list right there. Um, yeah, I'll stick with that one. So a book or series, this is number 4. A book or series you're tired of everybody hating on. Now here's where the question gets tough for me, because I'm not quite sure who everyone is. Who this everyone is. I haven't been on BookTube that long, and I was a bit of a hermit, a recluse, kind of a sort of along those lines before I started this BookTube journey. I wasn't in touch with many people that were that I would get a sense of everyone from. You know, I have my family and friends, but not all of them read, and and the few friends of mine that do read, they pretty much read the same stuff I do. So you know, uh, so I really just don't have a good answer for this one. Um, so I'll move on to number 5. And this is kind of in the same boat. It's a book or series everyone thinks is really powerful, but you didn't connect with. So once again, the definition of everyone here, is this everyone on BookTube, or is this everyone in general? So I'm going to actually give an answer for this one. I'm going to say everyone in general. Because the book I did not connect with, it's actually 2. One is The Great Gatsby. I couldn't stand that book. I don't know what it is that is so great about it. And I don't know what is so great about Gatsby. And I just didn't connect at all with what they were saying in that, what Fitzgerald was saying in that book. I just don't like reading books about rich people with problems. Sorry, doesn't do it for me. And I'm sure there was some stuff. Maybe this is one of those books that somebody else can fight back there in a snob with my attitude toward it. Anyways, and another one was Moby Dick. I actually got Moby Dick. I just didn't connect with it because I thought it was boring as hell. Boring. That's all. That's all for Moby Dick. So let's move on to number 6. Number 6 is a character you don't get the hype for. Character I don't get the hype for. I would have to say Iron Man. I don't know. That's what pops in my head. I never liked Iron Man. I didn't like the. This goes with the rich thing again. I didn't like the billionaire playboy screwing up everybody's lives and then trying to atone for it by being this superhero, and that never really jive with me. I was always more along the the X-Men side type of, when it came to superheroes. The hunted and despised kind of hero, and so that was my my thing about the hype for Iron Man. I know Iron Man was the first movie character that came out for the whole Avengers movie franchise, but I was much happier with the other heroes on that note. So I don't know if that's probably an unpopular opinion. Once again, that's what this is for, right? So number 7, a book or series everyone wants an adaptation for, but you don't. I love adaptations. I actually do. I am a movie guy. I made movies in my previous life. What wouldn't I want an adaptation for? And this also falls into the category of what everyone, I don't know the definition of everyone. So I'm not sure what everyone wants an adaptation for. And therefore I wouldn't know what I wouldn't want one for. So I think I'm going to skip this one because I like adaptations. I like seeing what people do with adaptations. They don't always come out right. I get that. Uh, but, um, but I wouldn't mind seeing anything. So that's maybe that's the unpopular opinion. Hmm. All right. And finally, number 8, a book or series you think people have a bias toward and don't really love, hate as much as they claim. This one might be unpopular. I'm going to say Harry Potter. Okay. Just making sure nobody's going to strike me down here. Uh, I I think when it comes to Harry Potter, I think nostalgia plays a big role in people's love for Harry Potter, from what I've seen so far. I think a lot of people grew up with it and they love it for that reason. Whereas I'm not so sure it would be as loved if it wasn't read at a formative time in one's years. And that's that's just how I look. I mean, I've tried to read a few Harry Potter things, the books, the first one, the second one. It, yeah, doesn't do it for me. And so I think, and I could, I can definitely see the effect that it has on younger readers and how they really identify with it, and I get that. And I think that identifying as a young reader carries over into adulthood, and it carries over as nostalgia, and therefore that's where the real love for the character comes from, not because you would love the character more than other things now. Yeah, that's just kind of how I see it. um I mean, I love the Dragonlance novels when I first read them, but would I love them now as much if I read them now for the first time? Probably not. Admittedly, it's definitely a nostalgia thing, and so that's kind of where I fall on that question. That's probably an unpopular opinion. Just saying. All right, and that's my wrap up for those 8 questions. Tags. I'm not gonna tag anybody. I'm not sure who I would tag. You know, because I'm kind of probably down at the bottom of the list on these taggings, and so. But if anybody watching this wants to do one, I'll definitely check it out. It's kind of fun. So thank you, Joanna, for tagging me on this one, and be good to each other.